I can put the ball in the end zone, put a bad in the friend zone. Sound like an intro jet song, give me that tempo. So cool, he a fool with
The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying fly, Eagles, fly, as they get ready to match up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. 5 yards on the game's first play. Second down. Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson, 72 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. Throwing is Wilson. And an alley. And right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So, should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down. On second down, it's Sanders. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Give him 2 yards. That sets him up 1st and goal. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. Got a man open. It's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. And he's such a talented tight end. Just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover him? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You going to yell at me? You go cover him.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open?
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
A gain of 9.
From the 17, Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, Tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
They'll run at Sanders. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A solid pickup of 13 sets them up first and goal. They'll run with Sanders. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Miles Sanders with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good on the extra point. And a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, Norm.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. So that's now 3 first-half interceptions, and that last one even costlier as it's returned for 6 points. So as a quarterback, how do you regain your focus?
Well, QB 101 says you never show them that you're sweating. Still act like you're the guy, that you've thrown 6 touchdown passes, not 3 interceptions. But he's human. He's got to face up to his teammates. He's got to own up to that. See if he can brace up and also not look over his shoulder and see his backup starting to warm up. It's going to be a tough one for him.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 24. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Rolling to his right. And he's got the hook up to Moore. A gain there of 30 big ones.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
Dancing to his left. Now he's going to throw. That's caught inside the 20. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Flushed out right. And he's going to keep it here. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, even with 2nd and a yard. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson being chased, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Fletcher Cox, the former Mississippi State Bulldog, ringing the cowbell there on the sack.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, doesn't it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Well, certainly not how they drew it up. A 4th down gamble turns into a 4th down scramble. But all is well. For end zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett there to make the grab as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will get them one closer. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
Come on now, let's go. The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. 27 yards there, a 1st down. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down. On play action, Wentz eluding the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep for... And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th. Wentz going to go on 4th down. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and inches, Wentz flush to his right. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. Well, partner, let's put a bow on the Super Bowl for Kansas City. What a comeback win. Yet another come-from-behind victory for Patrick Mahomes and company. An absolute heartbreak for San Francisco.
Didn't Madden predict Kansas City would win the game?
Yes, 35-31, I believe they predicted.
I felt like most of the predictions I saw had the game in the 30s, so a little bit lower scoring than we expected, but a lot of fireworks down the stretch, all by Kansas City. But how about San Francisco? Had the lead in the ball, under 12 minutes to go, and held Kansas City to 10 points through 3 quarters. And somehow they're winging their way back to San Francisco, trying to understand how they lost that game.
Yeah, not only did Kansas City win it, but they end up winning it by 11 points. They not coming at all. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson. And this is caught by C.J. Prosise. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. On 1st down, Wilson sliding out of the pocket. He's going to take off with it. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. Myers connects on the PAT, and that will shave one more off this lead. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, this is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about...
Through an opening, and there he goes. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, 77 yards. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard and you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Another run here with Sanders, and he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. They'll run on first down. Sanders, and no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
74.
On 2nd and 9, Wentz. It's caught by Sanders. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other, a gain of 6.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Here's Sproles, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a fourth down. Wentz now to throw. He'll buy some time right. This one complete to Sproles. He will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid fourth down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Wentz on the give to Sanders, and he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. On 2nd and 12, buying time to his left. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. The sack there by Rasheem Green. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Now Wentz. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. No move to get the offense off the field here. They've converted once on this drive. On fourth, they'll go again and try it once more. Here's Wentz to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. With that incompletion, a chance to mention the awards. Now with the season over, Lamar Jackson, as we speculated, he's the MVP, Coach of the Year. John Harbaugh, Lamar's coach. Michael Thomas, Stephon Gilmore, Offensive and Defensive Players of the Year. Offensive and Defensive Rookies of the Year. That went to Kyler Murray and Nick Bosa. And the Comeback Player of the Year, Charles, Ryan Tannehill, no surprise there.
Not to mention the #1 award that the NFL gives out, the one that they give the most, credence isn't the right word, the most attention to, and the one that they want trumpeted the most. That's the Walter Payton Man of the Year, because that represents the totality of a player in the NFL, not just what they do on the field, but off the field as well. And that goes to Calais Campbell, the defensive tackle for the Jacksonville Jaguars. What a great award. Congrats.
And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. A 23-yard run as his guys are back within a single score. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it with Sproles. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wentz. And that's complete to Jeffrey. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Here's Wilson. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. The Seahawks will go for it. It's Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Escaping the pressure right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off right around the 43. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Then with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Now Wentz. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Wilson now. Going to throw again. Steps away. It's caught. Lockett. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. On the move to his left. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Here's Wilson to throw again. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing it.
And Sanders has got it complete. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
You better talk to your boy. You better talk to your boy. I'm going to protect you.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. This pass complete. Wentz to Ertz. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now Wentz. Got him in. He finds Sanders. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's an Eagles 1st down on a gain of 11. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Sproles. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. 2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a 3rd and about 5. Throwing now is Wentz. This is caught by Jackson. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. And that's complete to Sanders. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. They'll come out in the pistol. Second and goal from the 1. Second and 1. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Brad McDougal. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And what is going on here? Are they serious? First down, and they're in punt formation. Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is taken at the 18. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. A little clock management 101.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win